Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Relief Valve Podcast. This is your Monday update, February the 24th. And it's a joyless day. What a sad, joyless day. Do you know why? Because Reid was fired! Yay! That's right. The racist, Trump derangement syndrome, alopecia, miserable bitch has been fired at msndc, the left-wing Democrat propaganda machine. Let's get into a little bit of this here. Reid's evening news show on MSNBC has been canceled, part of a far-reaching program overhaul orchestrated by Rebecca Cutler, the network's new president. Two people familiar with the changes said. The final episode of Mrs. Reid's 7 p.m. shit show, The Readout, is planned for sometime this week, according to the people who were not authorized to speak publicly. The show, which features in-depth interviews with politicians and other newsmakers, has been a fixture of MSNBC's lineup for the past 5 years. MSNBC is planning to replace Mrs. Reid's program with a show led by a trio of anchors, Simone Sanders, Townsend, and a political commentator and former Democratic strategist, Michael Steele, a former chairman of the Republican National Committee, and Alicia Mendez, a TV journalist that people said they currently co-host The Weekend, which airs Saturday and Sunday mornings. An MSNBC spokesperson, Richard Hudak, declined to comment. Mrs. Reid declined to comment. Aww. The programming shakeup is the first major change made by Mrs. Cutler, who was appointed president this month. Mrs. Cutler has been drawing up a new programming lineup to jumpstart the network's ratings, which have outperformed rival CNN but lagged behind the longtime ratings leader, Fox News. So they haven't learned anything. They're just going to put some other left-wing Democrat dummies in place of the head Democrat dummy up here. But the winning that's happening is just absolutely outstanding. There's so much of it. I literally can't keep up. I literally can't keep up anymore with how much is going on. It is so good to get these race-baiting liars, cheaters, and grifters off the air and know that they're going into the unemployment line. So what's going to happen? She's going to start her own independent podcast. She's going to go that route of like Don Lemon and some of the others. Unfortunately, so her stupid voice will still be out there and she'll still be spouting her same garbage. But it's nice to know that they're getting their comeuppance. They're getting fired. It's out there. It's publicly. The 5 people that accidentally left their TVs on her show finally realized that they left their TVs on and turned them off, and that there went the rest of your viewer base. It's pretty bad when you're such a left-wing nut job that you lose the audience of left-wing nut jobs that are watching MSNBC and buy the garbage that is pushed on that network. If you're so crazy you lose the crazies, you need to go take like a walk in the mountains somewhere, and you need to have like some sort of come to Jesus moment where you figure things out and you figure your life out. You're doing a lot of things wrong. So in one other thing that's another huge update here, Dan Bongino has been made the deputy director of the FBI. This is huge. He said he would not get back into government again. He was a Secret Service agent. He has run for office. He's also been a police officer as well. He was a Secret Service agent under like Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, those shitbags. And he's been on details protecting them. He's done a lot of work. He's familiar with what's happening inside of the government. And he said on his show, and I'm going to play a clip for you in an interview as well, that he would never come back unless Trump specifically asked him and made a request to come out and help. And now here he is, news today that he's going to be deputy director, which means they'll be grooming him for director of the FBI. This is such the cabinet and the people that Trump has put in place. He learned so many lessons from the first time he was in office. Because the first time he was in office, he chose a lot of insiders, a lot of swamp shitbags who were supposed to be helpful to him and supposed to be on his side. And they ended up being traitors who stabbed him in the back and were still against the American people and against this country. He has learned so much that the crew that he has put in place is absolutely the best to be by his side, be his allies, and help push the agenda, not only of his, but the American people, what we all voted for. So I'll finish off here with just Dan Bongino talking about how he wouldn't do this unless it was a request from Trump. And now we've got that. So I'm thinking today, his show, which is either going to start now, it's 11:36 where I am on the East Coast, is starting now or soon. And I imagine he's going to have some words to say and how what his show is going to turn into when he's going to be busy as deputy director. So I'm curious to see where his show goes from here, if somebody else takes it over or if he takes a hiatus or maybe does it with like whatever free time he could potentially have, maybe from the FBI office. But the FBI, as you've seen throughout all these years, especially with the corrupt Biden regime in office, how corrupt the upper echelons of the FBI have become. So instead of looking out for the American people and the interests of America, what did they do during that time when Biden was in office? They targeted mothers and parents who spoke out at school boards about LGBTQ plus minus divided by sign stuff being shown to their children. They targeted Americans and called us, if we were conservative, domestic terrorists while ignoring actual terrorists. The FBI has turned into this just absolutely twisted amalgamation of anything that it used to be. And having both of these guys in office is going to be Kash Patel, as FBI director, and now Deputy Director Dan Bongino. Huge move as far as reforming the FBI. I'll leave you with Dan's comments here, and another good day of winning, but Reid out.
Only if President Trump personally wanted it. Oh, him, if he wanted it. I never envisioned myself going back in government again, ever. Like, ever. I can't say that enough. Repeating decimal, right? But, there comes a time where I wouldn't even take a salary for this stuff. There comes a time where, your country matters more. And I never got in this stuff for the money or the glory or any crap like that. It just happened. And it's just, I'm honored that people think that. But, I'm kind of flattered. If he called, I'd have to consider anything.